All right, y'all, today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to check out its local and city search. They're actually combined this time. See if it has BSS. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video here in the profile, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph here in white, got our highest intent people way over on the left. There's the people searching on Google and social search for, boudoir photo shoot in their city. And they're searching that literally right now. And we talk about that here with BSS. Those are the only videos we talk about here. And way over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. So those are the peeps that ain't searching for a boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And many of them, most of them actually have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. So we reached them with, interruption ads via Facebook and Instagram. But we only talk about that on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And right now we're currently only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. So when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google, 0 slots extra bad because approximately 80% of Google searches never reach page 2. So they're page 1 and done searches. And as a result, for on page 2, we're invisible to approximately 4/5 of the market. So, our business is dying. We'll be dying pretty fast. And as a result, only 1 slot on Google page 1 is bad as well because, there's 10 organic slots page 1 of Google, and there's probably gonna be 9 other boudoir photographers, and guess what? Everyone else is probably gonna have 1 slot, so we don't stand out. And what's a buyer gonna do? They're gonna click open everyone's website, get a quote from everyone, price shop everyone, compare everyone, blah, 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 negotiate, drive down margins, ask for a lower price. It's really, really, kind of awful for businesses. And 0 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are, number 1, market saturation, and number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, most people know about this, Over time, people get new iPhone, they get new cameras. And, some of those peeps, they throw up the Google Maps, my business profile. They say, yeah, I shoot boudoir now. Some, they also throw up their websites on Google, or throw up their websites saying they're a boudoir photographer. And they're trying to rank page 1 on Google, competing with us. And they're posting them in the mom Facebook groups saying that, basically saying that out for boudoir shoots now. So it's basically, saturation, more boudoir photographers, more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller. That happened a ton during COVID. A lot of people lost their job, but guess what? Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with awesome camera. So a ton of flood of boudoir photographers came into the market. Now, falsely page 1 equality, basically no one knows about this yet. This is where boudoir photographers have basically accepted, or kind of assumed that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google, and as a result, maybe they're in slot 8 on page 1. Then there's some market saturation. Some people ranked above them in their new websites. Now they're slot 3 on page 2, and they're like, oh well, it's normal. Every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slot on page 1 on Google. And so sitting there hoping that a few of those peeps, delete their website and Google de-indexes it so they can hopefully get back onto page 1. But this is 100% the wrong belief, the wrong thought process, because we've actually learned through testing that Google will give us as many slots on page 1 as we want, as we put in the effort for. So, and we've learned this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days using our new methodology we developed. So that's why I know the false belief of page 1 quality is exactly that, a false belief. Next, we know a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So yeah, BSS 0 1 slots page 1 Google search, We got zero slots for invisible. It's approximately 80% of Google searches, approximately 80% of the market. Obviously, we're disappearing. If we only got one slot on page one of Google, we blend in with everyone else. Everyone else has got one slot on page one of Google. We're not looking at anything special. We're essentially invisible as well. And both these cases, disappear and Boudoir photographer is literally a warning light, a flashing signal, a canary in the coal mine, where it means our boudoir photography business itself is on its way to disappearing. So what we've discovered is BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. And we discovered this because we invented it. And it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords in our city. So we rank there as many slots as we can. And this is kind of like the ice or the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains on the backside, the east side down in South America. So that snow, what it does is it melts off the backside. And when it melts off the backside, it goes into small streams, forms small rivers. And eventually all that water collects into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page one on Google. But everything starts up top with social search saturation, S-cubed methodology. And this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually allow them to have a chance to still grow their business in the presence of massive and increasing market saturation. The only other, and to give them that shot in a relatively quick time frame, the only other thing solution I've heard for that, solving this problem, it's actually have a large, well-known brand, but that takes like 5 to 10 years, so that kills the relatively quickly kind of property. And we ain't got 5 to 10 years, dude. AI's here. AI's taking people's jobs. We got to fortify our position in the market right now. And actually, through my estimation, I believe S-cube methodology can actually speed up the creation of a large, well-known brand by, my estimate is 8x, 8 times normal. It's because we're going to be seen on so many surfaces, ranking so many places, being seen everywhere. That's my estimates. So imagine if you're you got a large, well-known brand and you're using S-cube methodology. I mean, you're basically essentially unbeatable. So now we're going to go through an example of basically of, let's say we're in, all right, we are going to Salt Lake City, Utah, SLC. Let's say there's 1 million boudoir photographers there. We're one of them. Everybody's got their, boudoir photographer website. And they say that, well, everyone's trying to rank page one on Google, so massive competition there. And we're like, dude, we ain't got no brand. We actually got S-cube methodologies are our only hope to compete here. So let's say we crank up S-cube methodology to the max, and we're ranking for the first 300 keywords for the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords in our city. And we're taking the first 300 slots on social search, which then flows on to Google search. And Google search is, 10 slots per page, 10 organic slots. So we are, we are actually taking basically the first 30 pages on Google. So basically anytime any boudoir buyer searches for boudoir anywhere in our city or digitally, we're basically the only one they can find on social search or Google search. So whose business will be growing even if there's 1 million total boudoir photographers in the city? Most likely ours, because we're essentially the only one that can be found. We're blocking everyone else out. So, and whose businesses will be disappearing and, slowing down? Obviously, the 999,999 other boudoir photographer competitors in Salt Lake City, Utah. So this is, that'd be like S-cube to the max, but this is the opportunity S-cube methodology gives a chance to happen by using it. Now, once you're with S-cube methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. So obviously we get the initial benefit of more slots page one on Google. We also get another initial benefit, which actually boudoir photographers really like this one, where every new slot we get on Google page one, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because again, now we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. They're page one and done searches. So we're essentially making these boudoir photographers invisible to approximately 80% of the market. So the bulk of the market, basically, 4/5 of people, that's basically everyone. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having 3 out of 10 slots page 1 of Google search. That's because everyone else, all the other boudoir photographers, these everyone else can have 1 slot, so we're going to be looking way better than them. Our 3 slots to their 1. And the off chance, the very, very rare chance, somebody has 2 slots, yeah, we're going to be dominating them as well. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. We finally have a solution, S cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now my results using S cubed methodology here. So I wanted to rank for the term right here, BLCS boudoir. I wanted to dominate page 1 for this. So I started out with 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search. I utilized S cubed methodology for 10 straight days. And let's see my results. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So from 0 to 10 slots, Google search page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots, Google search page 1 in only 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. All right, now here to the main event. And check out this boudoir photography business. Looks like we're heading up to Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Gonna see if this business has BSS with this search. All right, so let's see what we got here. Boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. All right, so we got 2 out of 10. So what does that mean? That's good. We do not have BSS, but we are not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search for this local slash, combined local slash city search. All right, so see where we're at here, Fond du Lac. All right, so we got 1. Boom. We got 2. Boom. All right, so we got 2 out of 10, page 1 Google slots 4, our combined local slash city search. So that's good. It means we do not have BSS, boudoir search sameness. We don't have 0 or 1 slots, page 1 Google search, but we have not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, your city searches with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you have seen you've had BSS for at least one of them. So, you're at 0 or 1 slots, page 1 Google search for, those terms, or at least one of those terms. Or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for any of the local or city searches, any of those keyword highest intent with buyer keyword searches. And you've accepted the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. So you're seeing, hey, I can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google search as I want for as many keywords as I want. And I don't have to sit around and wait and hope Google, people leave the marketing Google is nice enough to put me on page 1. And you're seeing that S-cubed methodology is the only way to get you there, actually get you those extra slots, page 1 in Google. And you're liking the initial benefits, more slots, page 1 in Google. You really like the second initial benefit, which is basically kicking your competitors off. You're basically getting to decide who becomes a disappearing boudoir photographer and whose business boudoir photography business starts to disappear by dominating page 1 Google search. You also understand market saturation, and you are, people eventually get more gear. The market becomes more saturated, and as a result, you are looking ahead, saying, man, AI is taking people's jobs right now. AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs into the future as AI gets better and better. And you're like, man, I don't simply need these links on Google, page 1 Google. I actually have to fortify my page 1 position. So no current boudoir photographers in my area can ever rank page 1. And also no future boudoir photographers that come from AI taking their jobs can ever rank page 1. Basically, like I need to have so many links of my links Google wants to rank on page 1 that they're actually backstacking me to page 2, 3, and 4. And you're actually deciding that the best way to get all these links, again, Ask-Cubed methodology, get all these backstack links on all these future pages, and really actually fortify your position, kind of like the levees in Nolens, Louisiana. It's kind of fortifying the walls against the ocean because the city is below water. So your Ask-Cubed methodology is the only solution for that. And you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, have boudoir search visibility because you need these things on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also liking the future benefits of Ask-Cubed methodology, or basically you understand that as we execute Ask-Cubed methodology successfully every single day, we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns that are like plugged into your kind of like your cluster, your brand name, your business name, your social handles names, kind of like plugging these invisible thematic keyword columns in. And every day we build that up, we're increasing the probability that you are the one recommended up here, the AI overview and search, because you're just building up so much authority, repetition, relevance, age, with all these different keywords, the size, intent, boudoir buyer keywords. And so you actually want, you want that increased probability percentage every day of being recommended here, because it also comes with increased probability of being recommended through all the AI searches, all the AI search apps. We're building up this like massive backend AI keyword search momentum. It's invisible, but every day it builds and builds and builds. And so that's ChatGPT, that is Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. These are getting more and more popular every single day, increasing search volume every single day, with Google standard search, basically decreasing every single day. And last time I did boudoir photographer search in a city, I used ChatGPT, it returned me 3. I actually did a manual search with Google and Facebook, and dude, I found like 60. So it's like, man, we gotta find any way possible to get AI search to recommend us, and you realize an Ask-Cubed methodology is the best way to get these invisible thematic keyword columns built around your brand, your business, your names, all that. You're also like the future benefit of, kind of building your large, well-known brand in your area, making it harder for market saturation to ever affect you approximately 8x faster, utilizing Ask-Cubed methodology. And you also understand my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer for your city. So you actually you get all these benefits, kicking your competitors off page one, and your competitors actually not being able to use these benefits, and you actually build up a large, massive gap in front of them, ahead of them, with these invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of this keyword backend AI keyword mindshare momentum that you'll be able to achieve, and not your competitors. And that's where you decide to be a first mover, adopting this technology, because you understand the converse. If your competitor is the first mover instead, then what actually happens is, they're getting all their links page one, they're kicking you off page two, off page one, onto page two, maybe on page three, and fortifying their position so you can basically never get on page one again. Taking all the slots, turn up social search, so you're basically become unfindable. And then we're actually, building up that massive gap AI backend keyword mindshare way ahead of you, maybe to big enough where you can never even catch up. And what actually happens is, for you to compete, you would actually have to rederive Ask-Cubed methodology, or actually derive it yourself for the first time. You would never actually be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. And then you'd have to equal our execution every single day. And then if you did that, you'd simply be maintaining the gap me and your competitor have already built up against you, because we'd still be executing it every day. So in order to close that gap, you'd have to out execute us, 2 or 3x every single day to begin pulling it back to like back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum from me and your competitor back towards yourself. But again, you wouldn't have 100% confidence even putting in the time to do that, because you would never actually know if you've derived this technology correctly in the first place. And you're saying like, dude, who would even have 80 hours per day to do all this anyways? So you decide, screw that. You've decided you're going to be the first mover of your city. You decide you don't want to miss out on this. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But if you want, but when we do open, no, even if you want to contact us, you cannot. Even if you want to work with us right now, you cannot. But when we do open the hospital for new patient intake, it will be announced. Shoot us a DM then. and then we'll see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.